All right, guys, welcome back for session number 2 with thinking right, doing right, and changing our thinking process. Okay, so last time we were here, we talked about why we needed to change our thinking, right? We talked about how our brain is a super complex thing and that every time we see something, every time we hear something, our brain attaches that to something, right? Whether it's negativity, whether it's a habit, it attaches things. That's how crazy our brain is, right? I know, it's insane, but it's true. And so because of that, we can often get into habits of being negative. We can often get into just negative cycles and negative habits. And so when we were here last time, I asked you guys to do 2 things, right? Okay, first thing, I wanted you to write down in your notebook, in your journal, wherever you've been taking notes with this devotional, I wanted you to write down 2 to 3 lies that you may be believing about yourself, or maybe they're not negative things, or maybe it's not about you necessarily, maybe it's about your circumstances or your life. Okay, I wanted you to write down 2 or 3 of those things. I also wanted you to read Philippians 4:8. Okay, we're going to jump right into things and we're going to look at the word and we're going to talk about Philippians 4:8. Okay, so with Philippians 4:8, all right, I'll read it first and then we'll talk about it a little bit. Surprise, he's back. Whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is good, what is ever of good repute, if there's any excellence and if anything worthy of praise, dwell on these things. Okay, to sum that all up, basically, he's telling us, Paul, who's writing this, is telling us, think good thoughts. Okay, now Paul is writing this to a church of new Christians, and during this time, they are living in the Roman Empire. All right, now the Roman Empire could be the equivalent of the world today. Okay, these Christians that Paul is writing to could be you, okay? New in your faith, maybe not necessarily new, but trying to get deeper in your faith, right? These Christians were in the same boat. And so Paul was writing to them and trying to encourage them, okay? It's going to be a lot easier. Your life is going to be a lot easier if you can control what you're thinking about. All right, now if we dive in a little bit deeper, okay? There's a word in there that I really want to look at, okay? It says to fix your mind. Fix your mind on things that are pure, things that are holy, things that are right, things that are just. And when we think of that word fix, right, you think of, okay, I need to go get some tools, I need to run to Menards, Lowe's, Home Depot, wherever, and I need to fix it, it's broken. That's not what this word means here. In this scripture, that word fix actually means to attach. So Paul's telling us that we need to attach our mind to positive things. We need to attach our mind to things that are good and holy and of right standing. It's kind of tricky, all right? So we go in and, okay, well, all right, cool, got that, Sam, but how in the world am I supposed to do that? What does that look like? He's telling us that he doesn't want us to dwell. He doesn't want us to stay stuck, okay? I know that at least for myself, hands up, there have been times where I get stuck thinking something negative or believing a lie, and you get stuck. You become paralyzed. You fixate on it. You ruminate over and over and over again. That's exactly what Paul is telling us not to do. All right? Now it's hard. It's so hard. How do we go about doing that? It's $1 million question right there. Okay, but that's what we're going to talk about when we come back for session 3. Okay, so I'm going to leave you on the edge of your seats. All right, now what I want you to do this time around, I got to make sure, because I want to make sure I give you guys some homework with all this. My teacher's coming out in me. All right, your homework. All right, take those notes that you wrote down where you thought about the lie or maybe the negative thought that you had about yourself. Okay, take that. And I want you to try to find 1 or 2 scriptures that line up next to it. Or if it's not a scripture, write down the truth. Okay, so you have this lie that you're believing, but what's the truth with that? Okay, so next to those lies, write the truth next to it. Okay, now what I want you to also be prepared, because as we do this, you know that we do our Instagram live and our Q&A. I'm gonna challenge you guys. Okay, we can't sit in our small groups. We can't do this face-to-face stuff. We can't do it over social media. Okay, so I want to challenge a few of you to be bold. Share what some of those lies are that you're believing and share the truth that you're coming with it against in our next live Q&A session. Okay, he's very excited to hear it. All right, so share that. Okay, I'm going to challenge you to put yourself out there and share it. All right, so that's your homework, to come up with truths or come up with scriptures that go against those lies that you're believing. All right, and we'll see you back here soon for session number 3. See ya.